Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of All the Mods 10 to the Sky. In between episodes, I went ahead and updated the setup we had for our Mob Crusher. So I moved this guy back, so instead of it being in the middle here, it's completely on the outside. And with the plus 12 range add-on, it basically covers one extra block outside of the setup. I did this so we didn't have things spawning behind it and having issues with that. I also replaced all of the spikes down below with these slabs, and everything else I put down below. So now nothing can spawn down here. We do have these ender inhibitors, which prevents the shulkers from teleporting around. But the problem is if you don't include the smoothstone slabs, they can actually spawn on the bottom of this platform. So even if they're not allowed to teleport around, they can still spawn underneath and kind of get stuck down there because the Mob Crusher won't get them. This setup has been working really well. I do have the trash. I'm just trashing everything. And we have some things in here which we'll go through in just a second. And basically all I'm doing is powering the crusher with this thing. And then we're inputting all of the tools and armors from the barrel and the crusher, and we're just trashing those. And then everything else, we're inputting everything except those and putting them in the barrel. Then I just offset that with 10 ticks. It's the exact same block, so it just happens a little bit quicker. With this setup, I actually made it to 1,374, I think. 1374 waves deep into the thing, which is crazy. Take a look at how that went. This is insane. I've had this going for quite a while. I'm on wave 1,315 currently. And as you can see, I have shaders turned on as well as particles. And it is very, very laggy, but it's still going. Should we go all the way up to 1,500? I kind of want to stop it though, because it's getting kind of ridiculous. Oh. There's a blaze here. I think maybe that would be a good. It would be cool to make it to. Should we make it to 1,500? It's gonna keep going. Damn. I don't honestly even know how to stop this at this point. I could, I guess, just stop this from. Let's stop this from running. Oh my god. Run away. Alright, what wave did we make it to? 13. Come on. 1374. 1,374. That is pretty cool. I'm going to stop it there and just wait for it to time out. You can see everybody that falls off or flies away gets teleported back. That's the leash range. So once they get out of that range, it pulls them back into the gate. 17 more seconds and this will end. And then we will take a look at our spoils. I don't want to get hit by these phantoms because I'm pretty sure they'll just one-shot me. 3, 2, 1. Very nice. Okay. So as you can see, we could have kept it going for a little bit longer, but I decided to stop it. Maybe I'll try to go to 1,500 waves just to check that off the bucket list. But I think that 1,300 was plenty. So let's take a look at the spoils down here. First of all, how much experience do we have? 21,800. If I go ahead and retrieve all of those, it's going to go back in there. What is going on with that? All right, so we're going to pick up all of those experience, and I'm going to put it in the one that's connected to our applied energistics thing, which is in this room where we're enchanting. And I've done this a couple times already. So you can see this one's already at 20,000. So if I put everything in there, it's going to go up to, it's maxed out at 21,863. So we can't put any more than that in there. It looks like. And how much XP fluid is that? 2.1 million XP fluid. I guess maybe the rest of these we can put in our mob farm area into this one, because this is connected also to our, whatever you call it. Why does that keep... Interesting. So now we have 40,000 levels just from running a couple of those those gateways. No need to make an experience farm or a farm for gems and stuff like that. Let's take a look at the spoils now. We have, oh my god, 247 sigils of malice. That's cool. 13 sigils of supremacy. We're going to get into this in this episode today. Over 3 million gem dust, over 3 million Godforged pearls, and all of the gems we could ever want. Probably. They're all perfect. This has been a really crazy setup. All right, so with these, I'm just going to put them in our system, and let's go ahead and move away from this for a second. And I want to make a new set of armors in preparation for fighting the Chaos Dragon. We're going to get into that probably in the next episode. But I do want to make those because I'm... Ars Nouveau in this pack is cool, but it's not as powerful as I wanted it to be. I wanted to have a big AoE skill to basically one-shot all of the withers that spawn. But it looks like that is not going to happen easily with Ars Nouveau. I don't like creating those like crazy Lackfest spells with Ars Nouveau because, I don't know, they're just not my favorite. There was also an update that fixed the coal tags. So every time there's an update, I need to put this back on appearance, center search. I have to do that all the time because I like having it in here. I got used to it from EMI, how it's in the center. All right, what are we doing? Advanced AE, we're going to look at the quantum armor. So we do need to make all of these, which means we need all of these patterns. Let me see if I have those set. You can see as I was trying to make these, it pulls whatever you have from your system. So it pulled this thing with weird MBT data. I don't want that. So what I'm actually going to do is first make the netherite helmet patterns. And we do also want to make the smithing templates because I don't have... Let's start with that actually. So the smithing templates, I accidentally made 22,000 of the netherite ones. But you can see we don't have the other ones. So I do have a few of that. We don't have the vibranium one. So we'll have to make one of those. And the problem is this vibranium one, in order to make more of it, we're going to need ancient stone, which I don't have right now, do I? I do not. So if we take a look at ancient stone, there was a recipe added at some point with the block generators. Perfect. And if we do oxidize copper, so you can see this one says the source block is consumed, but this one is not. So if we do it with the oxidized copper and blue ice, it will not use up the source block. So I'll grab a blue ice and we're going to need to oxidize some copper. And I can just do that in the chemical injection chamber factory thing. So let's make one of those enrichment chamber and then make a chemical injection chamber. And instead of, so if you take a look at this, it requires oxygen. You can, instead of like making an electrolytic separator and making oxygen, you can actually just use flint. So we'll grab, I don't know, 8 blocks of copper should be good. And we'll grab a gate to power that. So we put the copper in there, and then once you put in your flint, it's gonna go ahead and start doing this. Let me also grab my time wand. Brother. It does use a ton of flint. We're gonna need more. Perfect. So we got 8 oxidized copper. We can get rid of the rest of this stuff. And let's go make that. I guess I'll just make it here. Let's make it here temporarily. The copper will go below. And then we need a block generator. And I will upgrade this to the netherite tier so we can get a bunch. And let's grab a drawer with some upgrades. I'll just do a couple netherite upgrades. That should be fine. Block generator goes over there. We'll put the upgrades in here. And then on one side, we'll have blue ice. And the other side, we need soul lava. Over there. And it's going to make 64 at a time. And we'll just get a bunch of ancient stone. But let me grab all those for now. And let's go ahead and automate our smithing templates. The way I'm going to do the smithing templates is with our quantum crafters. So this first guy, for example, let's put this over here. We do have the netherite one crafted, and you want to make sure you set a limit. And when you change these limits, there's an X, so you want to make sure you press enter to save it. Otherwise, it won't save it. We'll craft all of them. We're going to leave these off, and we're also going to need some acceleration cards to put in there. Now let's make the rest of them. So the aluminium one, we're going to do this recipe because it's going to be cheaper. And you just make the crafting recipe for those. So aluminium, here's vibranium, the one with the ancient stone. And we also have unobtainium. Not this one. This one with end stone. I'm not going to turn them on yet. I'm going to go ahead and set a limit to 32. That way it doesn't craft more than those. If you don't set a limit, it'll be like my smithing, the netherite smithing templates where I have 22,000 of them. So it's going to use up all your resources. Once that is set, we can turn these on. And if we take a look at smithing templates now, there's going to be 32 of each one. And if I take these away, obviously you can see I can't make one right now because it doesn't have any because it's a recursive craft. But as soon as I deposit one in there, you can see it makes another 32. So that is going to take care of our smithing templates. And now we can actually make the quantum armor. And before I make the pattern for these armors, I'm going to make the netherite stuff first. And that is just going to be this recipe with the diamond helmets. So we'll go ahead and make that. And I'm also going to make the diamond patterns. And what this does is when you go ahead and make your patterns first, because basically Applied Energistics will grab whatever it can from your system. So if you don't have a crafting recipe for it, it's just going to default to whatever you have in your system. And that's why we were getting some things with enchantments on there, just because those are the, those are the items we had in our system. So now with those set, when we make this, you can see it's going to default to the one that we have the pattern for. And that's not going to give us issues with MBT, hopefully. So once I make those, we're going to just put that in our assembler matrix. And let's go ahead and craft those quantum armor. Oops. We will do the boots, the chest, the helmet, and the legs. And you can see those are being made. The next thing we want to do is make these upgrade bases. And once we have the upgrade base made, I can just go ahead and make, like, let's say we want the walk speed one, right? I have the recipe for this one, and I have the other stuff in my system. So I can just hold Control and press the plus button, and it's going to make that the upgrade card. And then it'll populate our grid with the other stuff that we have. And then we can put this in here. So instead of making recipes for every single one of these, I'll just Control press it because we're only really going to need to make this once. So same thing. Or instead of doing that, I can just make, let's say, 20 of those. And it'll make it a little bit easier. We do also want step assist. So I pretty much went ahead and made all of the cards. They're all pretty useful and you can turn them on and off very easily. So there's really no point not to make them. And if we go into category advanced AE, we need to set up a, so advanced portable workbench. Can N work for that? No, I don't want. Night vision I will use as N, so we can turn our night vision on and off. That is really great. Our magnet I'm going to put as my other magnet toggle. And then the quantum armor configuration, I'll just put as the numpad, period. And then open portable workbench, I do also have that. I guess we can put that one as, I don't know, divide sign. All right, so let's go ahead and put all of these guys away, and we can wear all of our quantum armors now. And if we press the period icon, it's going to go ahead and give us... Oh, you can change the configs too. This is nice. This is new. We can make it all blue. Did that work? Let's take a look. Oh, look at that. Oh, that's so much cooler than purple. I wish it changed in here too, but look at us. I think this is a pretty cool looking piece of armor. Wow. Okay, anyways, let's press this again, and we're gonna go ahead and put all of our things in there. I'm basically putting it in there, and if it doesn't go in, that means it's for a different one. So you can see this one, if we take a look at it, it says it's for the chest piece, and if I press the chest piece, that's the one that it goes into. So basically when you put these in, just go through and if it doesn't work, click on the other stuff, and it'll go to the other pieces, whatever piece it's for. All right, so now we can walk super fast, have a ton of step assist. How high is our step assist? The cool thing is you can toggle on and off your night vision, which is really nice. I love that. And let's go ahead and remove this magnet because we don't need it anymore. And now we're going to have our quantum magnet on. And if we open this up, we can actually go ahead and customize most of these things. So anything that has a wrench on it, so step assist, for example, right? I don't want 3 block step assist. I just want 1 block step assist. So if we walk up this, it'll allow us to go up, but it's not going to make us like skip over this thing, for example. If you have too much step assist, it can get a little bit annoying. So, oops, I keep pressing the wrong button. Jump height is 3 blocks. That's fine. We'll leave that. No flight drift. So when you're flying with this thing, let's go ahead and grab our flight card out of here. So it's going to get rid of that. And I don't think we need our lava immunity anymore. Oh, which we don't have anyways. Okay. So the cool thing with the flight for this armor is you can go up and down really quickly. So it's faster than that, which is really great. And if we go back over here, I can show you. So with the flight card, you can go up and down really fast. So it's creative flight, but faster vertical, and you can fine tune that. What were we looking at? Was it... so the no drift, if we put no drift on there, if you're flying around and I let go, it stops immediately. So if you want to like fine tune, like going a little bit this way or that way, it stops immediately. I don't know if I want that all the way cranked. Maybe we do like 50%. So it's... Oh, come on. This kind of stuff really annoys me. I want it to be 50 and I can't scroll. Can I do... Nope. Come on. Oh, why does it skip 50? I could go one by one for all the other numbers. And then when we get to 51, it skips to 49. You gotta be kidding me. Okay. Let's see how that feels. Ah, that's not too bad. ME recharging is great. I do need to link these to my, this guy, and it's going to, the linking is nice because it'll allow you to put things in your ME system from it, pull things from it. It'll auto charge. And if you have that, the charging thing in your chest piece, also the flight speed, you can, so if we put our flight speed low, you can see it's much slower, or the up and down, that is. So you can see it's really slow now. And if we crank it up to 10, we can go up and down much faster. HP buffer just gives us more health. So you can see we have orange health now. When we turn that on, it's going to give us, I think it's 20 more health, so an extra bar. Lava immunity, great. Regeneration is really good. We got strength, attack speed, and ME recharging just recharges this from your system. But also, if you take a look at the ME recharging card, enables recharging if linked to the grid. Oh, when it's installed in the chest piece, it also recharges your inventory slots. Oh, by the way, I forgot to tell you guys, my grave, oh, come on, was actually over here in this block, and I just missed it. A blind like the other grave. So I did get my stuff back. I didn't have to cheat them back in, which was nice. Anyways, so you see how like normal walking is too fast, and when you're trying to like sit on a thing, I don't like that. So what I'm gonna do is my walk speed is over here. So walk speed, we're gonna move it up a little bit, maybe twice as fast. But our sprint speed is gonna be really fast. Swim speed, reach boost is also really nice. Look, from all the way back here, I can look at that. I could be over here and access those terminals. And our attack speed is really fast now, so we can do that. But we're not done yet. We can make this even better. So let's go over to our enchanting place. So first of all, we're going to need some enchantments on here, which will be just protection. So I'll go ahead and grab some protection 9, and let's go ahead and duplicate those. We do need to set up a requester for books. We're going to put it on, oops, clone mode, 9 levels. This is so crazy. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think protection is the only thing I need on these guys. If there's something else that I'm gonna want, I'll deal with that later. But we have that now. Oh, dude, this looks so good. I love it. I'm still probably gonna turn it off, so we just have our skin, and you can do that by going cosmetic armors and turning all these guys off. And then we can toggle it with that guy. We'll leave it on for now, and then maybe I'll turn it off later. And I do want to also set up Apothic enchanting stuff. Now that we have the supremacy stuff, it's going to be great. So let's take a look at Apotheosis. We're going to need not the salvaging table, but all these things. There's a simple reforging table. We're going to turn that into the more advanced version. And we also want the augmenting table. I guess I'll also make a gem cutting table. We're not really going to need it because all the gems we have are basically the maximum version, like the flawless ones. But I will keep that. Now, these guys are going to need... I forget how this works. We're going to need both Godforged pearls as well as sigils of rebirth. So let's make a recipe for sigils of rebirth. And sigils of enhancement we also want. I guess sigil of withdrawal I will also do. Enable substitutions, so that's going to work. And let's put these guys in here. So on this one, I'm going to want sigils of enhancement, and this one... Sorry, this one is going to be sigils of rebirth, and this one's going to be sigils of enhancement. We're going to do the same thing with the stock export bus for these guys. So those guys will get set acceleration cards. So this guy, and we can just connect them like so. Make sure we have enough channels going through there. So, okay, reforging table uses sigils of rebirth and rarity materials. So sigils of rebirth, we'll do 20 of those. And Godforged pearls. Let's see if that'll work. 20 Godforged pearls. So the Godforged pearls go in there, but it looks like the sigils of rebirth do not. What if we put on a piece of like helmet in there? It does not. And then the augmenting table uses sigils. Oh, we might not have those because we don't have any made. Sigils of enhancement will go in the augmenting table. So we'll put 20 of those guys in there. Let's go set up requesters for those. And I can't drag it from JEI. This is why EMI is better. Sigils of rebirth and sigils of enhancement. Let's set both those guys up in the requester. And we're going to want to keep 64 of each, I guess. And we'll just make 128 at a time. Don't need a ton of these. So let's see with those made, is it gonna change this? Perfect. So this is gonna get stocked. Why is there only 12? I may have forgotten to turn it on. Yep. So you can see those guys are set. And if I want to upgrade this, perfect. We just need the levels. So I'm going to set this to keep us at, instead of 100, we'll go to 225, I think is the maximum we're going to need. And what we basically want is to reroll our armors until we have 4 sockets, because that's the only way you can get 4 sockets. So this one has 3 sockets, this one has 1, and this one has 4. Perfect. So we'll grab that guy. Now we have 4 sockets. That's all we need from that. This next guy, we're going to check 3, 2, 1. So I'll just pick that one and then you can re-roll it. 3, 3, 3. It can be a little bit rare sometimes. So it took a few re-rolls, but having this auto-stocked and also it auto-stocking our levels, it's pretty easy. You just, go through. Common misconception is the higher tier one, like this third one, doesn't give you better stats or what. It's not like normal enchanting where if you put it in here, the highest enchanted version is better. It's the same. It's just giving you 3 different options basically. So this is like the first roll, and this is a re-roll, and this is another re-roll after that. So it just shows you the 3 different. Oh my god. It just shows you the 3 different setups for it. So once you have that all with 4 sockets, now we can actually go ahead and fine tune how we want to do this. So it looks like this doesn't store the sigils of whatever, these guys, sigils of enhancement. So we're going to put those in there. Now we can actually go through and pick all of the different things that we want. So like, let's say burning time, right? Fireproof, we're already fireproof from our armors. So this we don't need that. And if we hold our cursor over the reroll, you can see on the left side, it shows you the potential rerolls. So we can get knockback resistance, plus health or luck, all of that. So I kind of want plus max health. So I rerolled, I got luck. I'm going to reroll again until we get, and our experience is filling up a little slowly, so you can actually time wind that guy. And we were re-rolling to get max health, right? So there's max health. It can be between 5 and 8, and right now it's 5.5, so it's pretty low. But luckily we can just upgrade this. So we upgraded all the way to the max, tier 8. So then we could look at the next one. So this one's, it gives us more armor. That sounds good. I'll upgrade that to the max. This one gives us armor toughness. Upgrade that to the max. Deflective. Projectile damage taken is reduced. That sounds good. I'll upgrade that. Grounded lightning damage. That will be good. Magic damage is also good. What's our other options? No other alternatives. And then lucky. So we can get oxygen bonus, knockback resistance, or luck. I'll just leave it on luck. Okay, so that is our helmet fully upgraded. And then we have 4 upgrade slots in there. So we can put that on and move on to the next piece. You guys get the point. I'm just going to go through and pick some of the stuff I want. All right, so after a while, I've upgraded these guys, all of them, to have basically the maximum things that we need. Super easy to do that. Now, what we can do is use the smithing table. I guess I'll put the smithing table on this side. And we're going to use our Sigils of Supremacy. And what that's going to do is it's going to give us basically supercharge all of our affixes on here. And I don't know if you can do this 48. I think it only applies once. So right now, for example, we have +8 max health, right? When I put this in, it's going to give us +9.5 max health. Yeah, and it stays there. So only once. But all of these are going to be, we're going to use the Supremacy one. It's going to improve all of our fixes. So that is kind of overpowered. And now we have to figure out 16 different sockets of what we want. So let's go down here and check all of our sockets. I think I want health. So I'll do #health. And which ones? So this one will give us +12 max health on core armor. So we can put that on our chest and legs. +40% max health. Yeah, I want that. +20% max health. That's going to be insane. Gem of the Warlord, we want the perfect one. +35% max health. Let's try those out. So right now we've got, if we take a look at our health, we have 94 health. Kind of crazy, right? Let's go ahead and upgrade these guys. So we had this one on our chest piece. Can I do that multiple times? Core armor. So with just that upgraded, we have 200 health now. Insane. Does it work if I use a Sigil of Withdrawal? That's going to remove all of my things. And if I do 4 of these, will that give me more than 200 health? Let's take a look. 225 max health. So that seems to work better, the percentage stuff. But what if I do like 3 in 1? Try that out. Uh, 217. No, that one's going to be better. Sorry, just testing it out. So it looks like 4 of the max health ones are going to be better. So that goes on our chest piece, 225. And then which one was the other max health one? There is one that gives us +45 to like all, +45% attack damage. Oh, but then it's giving us minus health. I don't want that. I mean, do I want a couple more levels of protection? Is that going to be useful? More than max health? Probably not. Or I could do +4 protection. I'll do that. +60% attack damage. Oh, I might want to use that. Still. Here's +15% to all stats. That's going to be good. Gem of the Warlord gives us attack damage on helmets. That's going to be good, I think. All right, let's try these guys. So first of all, our helmet. I haven't actually tested to see what's the best ones. I just kind of see what sounds better. So +15% to all stats sounds pretty good to me. We can only apply that once, okay. And then we have the +60% attack damage. That's going to be great. Can I do more than one of that? No. So that is for our helmet. And then Gem of the Warlord will give us +22% attack damage. Can I do 2 of those? Perfect. I don't know if, yeah, attack damage, that's fine. So that's what I'm going to do for my helmet. +15% all stats, 60% attack damage, and then basically 50%, almost close to 45% attack damage. Now, what does our health go to? 90? Oh, because it's -65% max health. The trickiest one to finish has been the boots. If you search perfect, so for all the perfect things, and then do $boots, it'll show you all the ones that can go inside of boots, which is just these ones. The kind of cool ones, like the one that gives +15% dodge chance, you can only put one of those in the boots. Same thing as the max health one. So I think I'm just going to put an Ender Surge one in there. That's going to give us 2 extra levels of protection, which will be nice. And then I guess we'll just add a Splendor Gem for some luck. I haven't tested out to see what's the best combination of things or whatever. I just kind of grabbed whatever I thought would be kind of nice. So we circled all the way back to red, which is cool. We have 175 health, even with a minus 65% health. We have a ton of it. 50 luck, which is really good. 100% knockback resistance. That just comes from your core armors. So as long as you're wearing the advanced AE quantum armor, you're gonna have 100% knockback resistance. 172 armor, 82.8 armor toughness. Those are really good. We have 30 attack damage with our bare hands. So we can one-shot most mobs with just our bare hands. That's cool. Once we work on our weapons, this is going to be even crazier. So here's everything on there. I'll slowly go through it so you guys can take a look at all the stuff that we have. Just pause and see what I have enabled. And that's going to make it really good. I do also... So our nourishing thing, because we have so much health, our nourishing thing kind of is down a little bit. So we do need to eat something. And I forgot what kind of food I set out to Autocraft. Is it in here? I thought we had some kind of food that I could eat. But we can put that on our... what do you call it? We can put that on our Autofeed, which is on our helmet. So you just put something in here and it'll keep you automatically fed. Like we could eat something like an emerald apple. That's going to give us all the stats. But the problem is that's going to override our current things. So like we have resistance 4, for example, and I don't want to overwrite that. So I'm in the process of making a strength 5 potion filter. That's also going to help us out. So let's go ahead and do that. Then we put in our potion essence, and then we put in the netherwort, and we let that cook. We could do the same thing. It's inside of the apothecary mortar. We just put in the gold nugget and the eye of ender, and that's going to give us potion or strength 2. Then we put that strength 2 back in here, and then we can get strength 3. And we put that back in there with an eye of ender. We get strength 4, and one more time strength 5. And once we have strength 5, so that one was only like 3 minutes or whatever, we can add more eyes of ender to get more time on it. And once we have something like 7 minutes, it's gonna be... It slows down a lot after that. So this thing is bubbling now, and we can grab 3 potions of it and do that again with the next one. So that goes in there and that goes in there. It's going to start brewing. So now we have 3 of these guys. That's going to give us strength 5. And we have our potion filter in our offhand. We're going to drink these and immediately put it in our potion filter. So now we have a third of the way filled. And so I'm going to do that a couple more times with these. If we do it like that, it'll be easier. So just one more time and we'll have that completely full. All right, and this should be the last one we need. And that's going to give us an activated potion of strength 4. It's capped at 4. So that's going to give us plus 12 attack damage, which will be great. All right, guys, I think that's where I'm going to leave it for this episode. We are all set up with most of the things. All of our armors are kind of maxed out. There might be a better way to min-max it a little bit, but I'm happy with this. I'm going to settle for this. We're going to come back in the next episode and work on our weapons, because we still need that, and set up our Draconic Fusion Core and do all that. And probably in the next episode, we'll fight the Chaos Dragon. I'm not sure if we'll have enough time for that or not, but that will stay tuned for all of that. Anyways, thank you so much for watching this episode, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one.